Thanks to the recently passed $2 trillion stimulus package from the US government, many Americans received an extra $1,200 of spending money in mid-April. These one-time cash payments provided a much-needed boost to many people's budgets during the ongoing crisis, allowing them to buy food, pay rent, fill up on gas, or pay for other necessities. However, for the people who managed to keep their job or had enough money saved to cover all their expenses, the stimulus checks were basically a free $1,200 to spend however they pleased. Today, I have a list of the top 10 craziest ways people wasted their stimulus checks. Before I begin, it would really help me out if you would hit the like button and subscribe to help me grow my channel. If you live in or have traveled to a city with rideshare scooters such as Bird, Lime, Skip, or any of the other brands around, you know how convenient it is to zoom around on them. You don't have to wait in traffic, and it's a lot more fun than driving. I think most people who have ever ridden one probably wished at some point that they could have one of their own. Well, you can actually purchase your own Bird scooter for about $1,300. These scooters come with a 25-mile range, a top speed of 25 miles per hour, and a bunch of other cool perks. Unfortunately, the $1,200 stimulus check was not quite enough to cover the price for one. Luckily, for the Twitter user who wanted to buy one, he had a spare $100 to cover the extra costs. I guess if you live in the city, it would be more convenient and cost-effective than buying a new car. A lot of people have been using food delivery services such as Uber Eats and DoorDash recently to avoid having to go out in public to eat. This is a safe way for a lot of people to enjoy restaurant food if they can't risk going out. However, when the stimulus checks went out, some people took ordering food to the extreme. In the weeks following the release of the checks, many food delivery drivers took to social media to share photos of insane orders made up of hundreds of dollars of food. One of these orders went viral because the person ordered over $450 worth of sushi, and didn't tip the person who delivered it. If you're going to splurge on having food delivered, you should really save a little bit of the money to say thank you to the person who brings it all to you. Transportation is an essential need in today's world, and many people used portions of their stimulus checks for their car payments, car repairs, and other vehicle-related expenses. However, some people thought, why bother with a pesky car payment when you could just buy a whole new car? One example of someone who had this idea was Twitter user ZoomZoomGoose, who bought this souped-up PT Cruiser with his stimulus check. It's the ideal car for someone who wants the off-road capabilities of a truck, combined with the comfort and size of an SUV. And for the low price of $1,200, who could turn down this deal? Have you ever wanted to own a limo, but decided it may not be the best family car? Well, another Twitter user found the perfect compromise in this minivan limo. This stretch minivan can transport the whole team to your kid's next soccer game without the over-the-top appearance of a normal limo. Seems like a wise purchase to me. If you have ever watched Guy Fieri's show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, you will know just how delicious the food looks. Most viewers wish that they could get a bite of the delicious delicacies that Guy enjoys every episode. Luckily, the opportunity to do just that arose when Guy created the Flavortown Experience sweepstakes. Fans could purchase entries to a raffle to win the grand prize that consisted of the chance to star in an episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, receive a private cooking lesson from Guy himself, and take a joyride straight to Flavortown in his iconic 1968 Camaro. With all that at stake, one Twitter user decided he had no choice but to purchase the maximum amount of allowed entries for the bargain price of just $100. Everybody needs shoes, and in today's world there is a seemingly endless selection to choose from. Luckily, many of these choices are not only affordable, but also durable and comfortable as well. However, some people aren't quite satisfied with the average sneaker, and the free $1,200 they received provided them with the perfect opportunity to up their shoe game. Sneakerheads across social media began flexing their most recent purchases days after they received their stimulus checks. Kanye West's Yeezys were a popular choice, as well as limited edition releases such as off-white Nikes, retro Jordans, Balenciagas, and more. Many people dreamed of being superheroes when they were children. Perhaps the only superhero that a normal person could actually become is Batman, because all he really had was a lot of money to buy cool gear and a fancy suit. While $1,200 is nowhere close to Batman's several billion-dollar fortune, it was enough for one Twitter user to purchase a collector's edition Batman suit off of Amazon. I doubt the suit would actually be very useful when trying to fight crime, so perhaps it wasn't the best use of the money, but it was definitely better than the next thing on today's list. I know millions of people enjoyed watching SpongeBob SquarePants when they were kids, or even adults, but I do not know many people who would spend $1,200 on artwork inspired by the show. However, that's exactly what one person did. They purchased this bold and brash painting of Squidward for the price of $1,159. At least they didn't have to pay the full price of $1,500, and I guess if they changed their mind, they could always get their money back. While receiving $1,200 during a time of need may have felt like winning the lottery to a lot of people, others decided that the $1,200 would best be spent on actual tickets for the lottery. Across America, lottery sales began booming in the weeks following the release of the stimulus checks. Sadly, I was unable to find any stories of these tickets paying out a significant amount to any of the people who bought them. That's unsurprising though, given that the average odds to win a lottery jackpot are roughly 1 in 175 million. Many people who didn't need to spend their checks decided to wisely invest their newfound money into things such as emergency funds, retirement accounts, or other long-term investments. However, some people decided that their checks would be the perfect thing to jumpstart their day trading career. For those who don't know, day trading is extremely difficult, and more than 90% of people who attempt it lose money doing so. So far, I have not seen any stories of people getting rich from this strategy, but at least these people probably learned something along the way, even if it was that they should give up on day trading. Ever since the countrywide shutdowns began, alcohol sales have increased by over 50%. While this may be partially attributed to the closure of bars and restaurants, it is also partially due to the fact that people received their stimulus checks and had some extra money to burn, or drink. You get what I mean. While there are some stories of people using their entire checks to purchase a super fancy bottle of wine, the majority of alcohol sales have been comprised of cheap beer. I guess people are going for quantity over quality in this scenario. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. If you received a stimulus check, comment below how you spent yours or how you wish you could have spent it. Make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on my future content. I try to post 2 to 3 videos a week. I'll see you all next time.